Sometimes the greatest treasures in life don't come wrapped in gold, don't shine under the lights of wealth, and don't make headlines in the news. Sometimes the most valuable gift a person can give is hidden in a quiet act of love. So simple that the world almost misses it, yet so powerful that it changes every heart it touches. This is the story of a boy named Daniel. He wasn't born into wealth or privilege. In fact, Daniel grew up in the poorest corner of a small American town where the houses leaned tired against each other. The roofs leaked whenever the rain poured too hard, and the streets were cracked like an old man's hands. His mother worked double shifts at a diner just to keep food on the table, and his father had long disappeared from the picture, leaving behind nothing but silence and unanswered questions. Daniel knew hunger. He knew the sound of an empty stomach growling in the night. He knew what it meant to wear the same shoes until the soles tore open, letting in water with every step. And he knew the sting of watching other kids unwrap birthday presents while he sat quietly in the corner, pretending he didn't care. But Daniel also knew something else, something rare, something the world often overlooks. He knew the meaning of love. He had very little to give, but when it came to the people he cared about, he gave everything. At school, Daniel didn't stand out. He wasn't the top of his class. He wasn't the star athlete. He was just Daniel, quiet, thin, always sitting at the back, always sketching little drawings on scraps of paper because he couldn't afford a proper notebook. But what people didn't know was that each drawing he made had a story, and each story was a little piece of his heart. One winter, when the air was sharp with cold and the town was preparing for Christmas, Daniel noticed something. His classmate Lily, a girl known for her kindness and her bright smile, had been unusually quiet. Lily was the kind of person who always lent her pencil when someone forgot theirs, the kind who stood up for the kids being picked on. But lately, her smile seemed forced, her laughter shorter than usual. Daniel, though shy, had a sharp heart that noticed the little things others ignored. He overheard whispers that Lily's father had lost his job, that her family was struggling, that they couldn't even afford a Christmas tree that year. For most kids, Christmas was about toys and lights and gifts piled high. But for Lily that year, it seemed Christmas would pass by in silence, and that thought broke Daniel's heart. He didn't have money. He didn't have anything fancy to offer, but something inside him refused to stay quiet. He wanted to give Lily something to remind her that even in the darkest winters, kindness always comes back, that someone cared enough to see her pain. So Daniel began working in secret. Every evening, after finishing his homework under the dim flicker of a broken lamp, he pulled out scraps of paper he had collected from the trash, half-used sheets, the backs of flyers, old envelopes. And he began to draw. He drew scenes of laughter, of children playing in the snow, of a family sitting together by a warm fire. He poured into those drawings every ounce of hope he wished Lily could feel. It took him days. His fingers cramped, his pencils were worn down to stubs. But when he finally finished, he tied the little bundle of drawings together with a string he found on the street. And at the very last moment, he added one final drawing, a picture of a small girl standing in the snow, holding a single candle. Around her, everything was dark, but that one candle lit the world with warmth. Underneath, he wrote just 4 words: "You are the light." Daniel didn't sign his name. He didn't want recognition. He just wanted Lily to smile again. On the last day of school, before Christmas break, while everyone rushed around with excitement, Daniel quietly slipped the bundle of drawings into Lily's backpack when no one was watching. He walked home that day with snow crunching under his torn shoes, feeling strangely at peace. He didn't know if she would like it. He didn't even know if she would guess it was from him. But it didn't matter. What mattered was that he had given all he could. That night, Lily found the drawings. At first, she was puzzled. But as she flipped through each page, her eyes began to fill with tears. She saw the stories, the care, the love hidden in every line. And when she reached the final page, with the candle glowing in the darkness and those 4 words, "You are the light," her heart broke open. For the first time in weeks, Lily smiled a real smile. And she cried, not because of sadness, but because she had been reminded that she mattered. That even when her world felt heavy, someone believed in her light. The next day, Lily walked into school holding those drawings close to her chest. Word spread quickly. Everyone wanted to see them. And soon, the entire classroom was gathered around, touched by the simple, powerful gift. Teachers whispered about it in the hallways. Parents talked about it at home. No one knew who had made them, but everyone felt the warmth. But here is where the story takes its sharp turn. A week later, Daniel fell ill. His body, already weak from years of poor nutrition, could not fight off the harsh winter fever. He was taken to the small-town hospital, where his mother sat by his side, praying silently, holding his frail hand. Days passed, and Daniel's condition worsened. He knew he might not make it, but even in those fragile moments, he whispered to his mother, "If I go, tell Lily to keep shining. Tell her she is the light." And with that, Daniel closed his eyes one final time. The town mourned. For many, Daniel had simply been the quiet boy in the back of the class. But when the truth of his gift came out, when Lily revealed that the drawings had been from him, something extraordinary happened. The boy who had nothing became the boy who gave everything. His last gift melted every heart. People began to speak of Daniel not with pity, but with reverence. The local newspaper wrote about him, calling him the boy who gave hope. The town held a small ceremony in his honor where Lily stood in front of everyone, holding up the drawing of the candle. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Daniel reminded me that even one small light can change the world. I promised to carry his light forward." And she did. Lily grew up carrying those words inside her. Whenever life got hard, she remembered Daniel's gift. She became a teacher, dedicating her life to reminding children that they mattered, that their kindness could touch lives in ways they might never see. On her desk, framed carefully, was that final drawing of the candle with the words, "You are the light." Now let me ask you, how often do we overlook the power of small acts? How often do we think we need wealth, success, or fame to make a difference? Daniel had none of those things. He was poor, hungry, unseen by the world. And yet, with nothing more than paper scraps and a pencil, he left behind a gift that outlived him, a gift that transformed every person who heard his story. The moral is simple, but it cuts deep. You don't need to have much to give much. The size of your gift doesn't matter. What matters is the love you put into it, the sincerity behind it, the heart that beats within it. Sometimes, a few kind words, a gentle smile, a small gesture can heal wounds deeper than money ever could. Daniel's story is a reminder to all of us. Life is short. We don't know how many days we're given. But in the time we do have, we can choose to give, to love, to light up the darkness in someone else's life. And when we do, we leave behind something eternal, something that no death, no poverty, no hardship can ever erase. So the next time you wonder if you matter, remember Daniel. Remember the boy who had nothing, yet gave everything. Remember that even you, yes, you, are the light.